Hey guys, so this week's vlog is about how important it is to watch what your calories that you eat as well as the calories out. So sometimes this seems a little easy, right? You eat less than what you're working so that you can lose weight. And it's like, oh, duh, that makes sense. But a lot of people can get kind of confused with it. And I think that there's also some apps out there that can kind of make things a little crazier. So, for example, and I think I may have talked about this before, MyFitnessPal. I love MyFitnessPal. I use it every day, track everything on there. But MyFitnessPal is kind of hard because if you put in any exercises that you do, so let's say you put in that you did 30 minutes of cardio, it's going to say that you burn like 400 calories or 300 calories, when in actuality that's not correct. So I have personally done like 30 minutes on the elliptical. The elliptical says I burned 400 calories, and I've looked at my watch, which is going to be a little more accurate because it's checking my heart rate throughout my workout, and it gauges my intensity, things like that on it, because it's tracking everything. And that will say I only burn like 138 calories. So what does that tell you? If you go into MyFitnessPal, you put that you worked out for 30 minutes, you burn 400 calories. What MyFitnessPal does by default is it allows you to eat an extra 400 calories in the day. So it allows you to eat those back. So what I've done that I've been successful with in my journey is not recording my exercises. And the reason for that being is because I'm still eating my 1,600 calories, 1,500 calories, whatever Gabe gave you. But when I'm eating that, I know that just by eating that, I'm going to lose a pound to a pound and a half a week if I'm strict with those macro numbers he gives me. But if I add my exercise additionally into the mix, but don't count the calories, so I'm not eating them back, then I'm just burning more calories, which means I'm going to lose maybe a little faster. So like I may have mentioned in the past, when I first started, I was losing 2.5, almost 3 pounds every week. Now it is a lot easier to lose a lot of weight like that when you are a bigger person. The weight comes off faster. But once you get to your, what we call the basal weight that your body likes, it's going to be a little bit harder to lose that weight. So for example, now, like I think I've mentioned before as well, is I only lose maybe a quarter to half a pound every week. I mean, I dropped about 3 pounds in a week and a half because I started carb cycling, because that's what I'm doing in my macro cycle right now, or micro cycle, I should say. And so, when you cut carbs, you can see a drastic change like that happen. But if you're not changing things up immensely, you're not going to see at this weight and how lean I am, you're not going to see, or I should say at this body fat percentage, you're not going to see, those 3 pounds coming off every week, because you just don't have that much to lose anymore. So that's a good thing. That means you're lean, yay. But it also can mean, like people say, that last 5-10 pounds can be the hardest part of it. The first 80 or 90 pounds were easy. And it is just because you were very big before, and so it was easy when you made the change in your diet that your body was like, oh, okay, I don't need all this anymore. Adding the activity on top of that also is burning that extra fat that's stored. So it's a good thing. If you're losing a good amount of weight, be happy. If you're not losing that much weight, a pound every 2 weeks, still be happy with that. It's definitely progress. Now, what I've done recently is I'll have Gabe measure my body fat. And I've been doing this since even before my surgery because I was getting really frustrated with the scale. So when you get really frustrated with the scale, right, it can mess with your mind, and then you can start trying to say, I want to do all these crazy things, and it just doesn't work, because that's what happened a year and a half ago. And I went on that journey and tried all these different things that did not work because I was getting stressed out with the scale. But when you have your body fat measured, which is either with, it's called an Omron, which is like a like a body fat percentage little calculator thing. You hold it in your hands. Some gyms have that. Or with calipers, like Gabe will do 3-point or 7-point calipers, body fat calipers. Then you can really focus on what your body fat percentage is. Somebody like me, I hold a lot of muscle than what my weight actually is. So even though I may weigh 145, or this was before surgery, I haven't had my body fat tested since, but before surgery, for example, I weighed 145. And so if you look at any of the BMI charts or things like that, it was saying that I was obese. However, if you did the body fat test, the percentages, the calipers, and all that, I was only 16% body fat, because I hold a lot of muscle in my arms, my legs, things like that. Now, of course, I had the extra skin that was weighing me down. So now when we do body fat percentages again, it'll probably change a little bit, which is good. Yay. So some things that can be hard, and I know I've done it before. I personally have not had the problem where I've gained a lot of weight back since I've lost, because I am so afraid to do that I won't allow myself to have these massive cheats and these binges and things like that. It's okay if you do that. It's all right to fall off the wagon every once in a while, have some cake, but the way we eat, or the way that Gabe has everything set up, which is, like I said, if it fits your macros, I can fit a piece of cake, or I can fit some ice cream, or I can fit a Starbucks skinny frappuccino in my day if I want to. So that I don't feel like I'm missing out on things. Whereas other diets that I've heard of, other friends that have tried different things, you gotta cut out all dairy, and you gotta cut out all bread, and you gotta cut out all pasta. That's not gonna last that long. Yeah, you're gonna lose the weight, absolutely. But when you start going out with your friends again and you start enjoying life, or you lost those 50 pounds and you look great, and then you're like, okay, I can slowly start adding these things back in. What some people do is they just want to go back to their same eating habits. And that's when you can get in trouble with gaining the weight and stuff again. Now, I've been on vacations before and I've enjoyed it. Pretty much what it comes down to is you can enjoy a few days, probably not going too crazy, but you can enjoy a few days, and yeah, you may gain a few pounds, but once you come back home and you get back on back on track with your nutrition, those pounds are going to come off again. So what we don't want is, we don't want to make that a habit, because then you're getting into that yo-yo dieting, and it can mess up your metabolism, it can mess up things. So it's just getting back on track, and that may take a few days too. If you've been gone for a few weeks and you're getting just back in the swing of things again, some people find it hard to go back to that normal eating. I know after I had my surgery, it was so easy to eat comfort food because you didn't feel good and you wanted to just eat, and I was stuck having to eat what people made me because I couldn't get up, couldn't do things for myself for a few weeks. So it was hard. It was hard for me to come back to my normal eating, but I can tell you that after 2 days of eating just my normal food again, my body felt better. I felt more refreshed. I felt less stressed out. I felt, that my stomach wasn't all, because if you eat out a lot and you eat like a lot of fried foods and your body's not used to it, you'll feel really sick. Or at least that's what I've felt over these past few years. If I'll say, okay, I'm going to try fried chicken or something, I don't like it. My stomach doesn't feel good. So it's coming back to it. Remember, this is a lifestyle. Things do happen. So, for example, if you can't get into the gym because school's coming and kids are out of school and what are you going to do with them, or you can't take them to your gym, then you try your best to be the best in the nutrition portion of it. Then you really watch what you're eating and you try and get in exercise with the kids, or you try and do some home workouts, things like that. There's always a way to try and get activity in there. But in those situations, then you got to be really good on your nutrition. So like I said, after a week or two of eating after the surgery, I was like, I can't do this no more. I need to eat kind of my normal food again. So then I got up, or I would walk my husband through my recipes, and I was eating that way because I could not work out for a few weeks. And so I had to keep my nutrition on track. So these are things that you can definitely do. Once you get back into the habit of it, back into the gym again, your body's going to start craving that good food again. And it's going to start, wanting to eat. And once your activity level goes back up. So definitely keep on task. It's hard with the holidays coming around. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. Enjoy your Christmas. But are you going to eat, a Christmas goodies every single day that come into the office? No, that's probably not a good idea. That's when people start to see weight gain. But you pick and choose what's really important. When your parents come down and you have those special bizcochitos that you only have once a year when they come down, yeah, enjoy that because you're not going to get it for another year. But the donuts in the office every single morning because your coworkers bring them in, is that really a big thing for you to have? No, it's not. Probably not. But like I said, if you're doing it how I'm doing it, where you get your macros from Gabe and you work it in, you want to work in that donut, go do it. But just know that you're going to be missing out on some of the other kind of healthier foods that are going to fill you up longer, and then you'll be more satiated. So the problem that I found with junk food like donuts and things like that is they don't fill you up. And so an hour later, you're hungry again, and then you're starting to reach for more and more snacks. And that's when people get to overeat. It's not really that food is so bad, it's that it's not filling. And so then you're hungry and you want to go reach for something else. So enjoy a half a donut with a protein shake so that maybe it fills you up a little bit better and you can continue on your day and enjoy life. But that's what I got for you this week, guys. That's kind of how I feel about calories in, calories out, working out, and just having life. I mean, things happen. You got to enjoy it. Because if you try and take too many things away, you're never going to make it work. So I always try and at least have something. If I'm craving it, I'll work it in. So of course, we're here for any questions. Here to help you in any way that I can. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week.